Okay, so Blizzard just posted a bunch of new changes to beta about an hour, 30 minutes ago or something like that. So these just came out. These are new. I've already read through all these, but for the sake of time, and I know how people don't want to read through a whole list of this, there's only a few things that you really gotta keep in mind. It mainly focuses on Mythic Plus and dungeons, most of what I do anyway. So I'm just gonna summarize it really, really quick. So the only thing that changed with the difficulties, the normal, heroic, and mythic is, well, everything's the same as it was now on retail. If you're playing retail right now, everything's the same. Normal and heroic is unchanged. There is an exception though. Prior to season one, heroic dungeons will not be queuable until season one starts. That's in another post they made, I think, before beta started. But I just wanted y'all to keep in mind that you can't queue heroic dungeons initially until season one starts, and then it'll be added to the queue. So when you want to do heroic dungeons, during the pre-patch or before the season starts, you have to form a group and literally physically enter the dungeon through that portal. So don't know why they do that, but they did it. And for Mythic Dungeons, they're changing it to a daily lockout. Um, I don't know why. I don't really care to find out why. It doesn't really affect me that much. It's easier for me to gear up because I play all the ults too. So okay, that's okay. That's fine. And then Mythic difficulty will be unavailable until War Within Season 1. I think that's the same with every new expansion though. I'm not sure, but this is not a big deal to me. So for Season 1, I think you guys already saw these, but these are the dungeons for Season 1. These are four of the new dungeons in the expansion, and then the four of the random ones they just throw in there for previous expansions. Grimbatal is the newest one. So that's from Cataclysm. I have not seen it yet. I know some people already have it covered when they were in alpha, but I don't know if this is released in beta yet, so I can't check it out. I'll definitely be doing these whenever they launch Mythic Plus this week, but that's what we have. Necrotic Wake, so we got two from Shadowlands, and possibly my least favorite dungeon of all time, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so for Mythic Plus, this is probably the biggest change that they have in here. Everything's the same. You don't really, if you want to read through all this, you can, but really, it's just copy and paste for what they said before season four started in Dragonflight. It's the same thing. So they are introducing four new affixes right here. I'm going to go into it. The first one is Reckless. Non-boss enemies without mana ignore 20% of their armor with their attacks, but their armor is reduced by 30%, and they take 10% increased arcane damage. So this is like a double-edged sword kind of thing with some of these melee ads. I'm just gonna guess that non-boss enemies don't mana is essentially just melee ads because most of them are just, you know, warriors or something like that. They just attack the tank up front. They're melee minions. So I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, I'm just going through the affixes. So make of it what you will. Non-boss, and then the second one we have Thorn. Non-boss enemies without just melee minions. They do more physical damage to their attackers when attacked, so thorns are just thorns. But they take a 10% increase holy and shadow damage. These are really, really random, like double-edged sword effects. Like, why is it only ha holy and shadow? Or why is it only arcane? Anyway, so for the two others, these are more focused on the caster minions. So non-boss enemies with mana deal 20% increased magic damage. So I guess that makes sense. They're caster minions. But they also take 10% increased nature damage and 30% increase from bleed effects. Okay, and in focused, we have caster minions deal have 30% increased haze, but take 10% increased frost and fire damage. So I want to guess that Blizzard just wants us to, you know, I think they're incentivizing us to play more alts because I can see this being a pigeonhole, like what, Afflicted and Incorporeal was as affixes. Because if you couldn't deal with those affixes at that week, you just wasn't invited to anything. This may be more harm than good, honestly, when it comes for looking for groups. Like for example, if there's like a reckless affix during the week and you're not an arcane mage or somebody that can do arcane damage, you likely won't even be invited to a group. Or same with a tune. If you're not a rogue or you're not a druid or, anybody that can do these type of effects or damage types, you likely just won't be picked. Say like if you're in the focused week and you're not a fire frost mage or a frost DK, good luck trying to get in the group because they likely won't take you. So I don't know how this is gonna go when the season starts, but I don't really like it. I like the positive effects that you do more damage, but being pigeonholed into a spec or forcing you to play more alts just to play that week, if Mythic Plus, you want to push high keys or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's good to play alts, but some people don't want to play alts, or some people don't want to take their time and gear up additional alts. They just want to do this just. I mean, this seems to only affect Fortified though, so that's a positive. It seems to only affect minions, non-boss enemies, so they're just minions or ads or trash packs. Nothing for Tyrannical as far as I can tell, but I'm iffy on this one. I don't really know. It sounds good, but again, you're getting pigeonholed, and I don't really like that. However, they are retiring these affixes for season one. This is the other new change. Afflicted's gone, Incorporeal's gone, Entangling's gone, Storming's gone, and Volcanic's gone. So we're left with Bolstering, Bursting, what's the others? Sanguine. I wish they would have got rid of Sanguine, but it's still here. Either way, we got rid of the two really, really annoying affixes that most class can't really even deal with. But then they're adding these, so I'm not sure what I'm not sure what Blizzard's trying to pull here, but this, in my opinion, is not the way to do it. I feel like doing this incentive forces, I guess, you to play things that you don't want to play, or forces you to make an alt or sit out that week. I mean, that's probably not their intention, but I can promise you groups are gonna want to do that anyway. Especially with higher keys, they're gonna treat this worse than they do afflicted or incorporeal. I can guarantee you that. If you're pushing like 10 plus keys, you better have an alt for that week. If you can't do the bonus damage, that's what I'm seeing at least. All right, so for 7 plus affix bucket, it says that they're retiring. One second. Oh, they're actually getting rid of Spiteful. All right. They didn't mention it up here, but yeah, they're getting rid of Spiteful also. Yay. That's one of the worst ones to deal with too, but yeah. Spiteful's also gone. They should have added up here. So the only remaining ones left are these four. Raging, Bowstring, Bursting, and Sanguine. That's at least for season one. So you'll be dealing with these plus these four new affixes. Is what I'm seeing. Tyrannical and Fortified affixes. It says they're still working on it, though I do believe that these four are more Fortified based than they are Tyrannical based anyway. Honestly, I don't really see these being a problem when it's Tyrannical weeks because they don't affect bosses whatsoever. However, on Fortified weeks, it could be a messy. It could be, uh, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But they did say that Mythic Plus testing is going to come out this Thursday. So I have a few more dungeons left to cover and some of the new specs or the hero talents. I got one more dungeon I haven't done yet. I think it's the City of Threads or something like that. Though that thing is bugged. I did try to play that dungeon twice, and both times my group disbanded. Everybody got DC'd. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'll try to post a video on it and try to get some other hero talents going. I don't really have too much left, but I'll do what I can until it happens. Until this happens, at least. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to bed. I'm going to go continue testing. See you guys later.